That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
We shift our attention to Group C competition in this final day of group phase play in the FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup. Puerto Rico, the first-timers, facing a veteran player team known as Australia. Puerto Rico 0-2 in Group C competition this year. The Sapphires with a 1-1 record. Aaron Sanders once again in Irapuato, where we are welcoming those who just watched Finland defeat Argentina by the score of 64-58. And with a win like that, that is Finland's first ever victory in U17 competition. There are 4 teams that are making their debut in U17 competition this year. Puerto Rico's one of them, and they hope to pick up their first win as well. Croatia is also another team, a part of that. They already picked up their first victory. And Chinese Taipei, who will see action later on. Australia lost a tough one to Team USA in the opener, but won against Croatia by 9. Puerto Rico lost to Croatia by 12 and lost to Team USA 121-36. We'll take a look at more of the breakdown in a moment, but first the national anthems for both teams. And there goes both anthems for Australia and Puerto Rico as they exchange gifts and pleasantries. The officiating crew today, will get to them in just a moment, but first a welcome to one of the members from the premium membership, Wilson Harayono. Now the referees from Singapore, Jeong-Wing Leon, from Argentino, Franco Ronconi, and from Pakistan, Yana Nico Gozian. One of the key players for Puerto Rico in this run, Adriana Robles, with 12 points and 3.5 rebounds per game. Puerto Rico, one of the top free throw shooting teams in the U17 World Cup, 7th with 64.3%. Australia, the Sapphires are led by two dynamic players in Ruby Perkins, 17 points per game, and also part of the U16 Asian Championship All-Star 5 a year ago. Also with her teammate Laura Samfai, the sixth best scorer in the World Cup with 19 points and 6 rebounds to boot. Again, the Sapphires, they are no strangers to the U17 World Cup, and that is a big contrast to Puerto Rico, who is making their first appearance. Australia has won 2 medals at the FIBA U17 World Cup. They placed a silver finish in 2016 and a bronze finish in 2018. The lowest they've ever placed was in 7th place back in the inaugural World Cup. Head coach Tom Gerlep hoping that this team is able to improve on their rebounds, because they're going to need it as they approach the round of 16 phase starting tomorrow. They're going to be met with the likes of huge rebounding teams, and with a win today, that will solidify their spot in 2nd place, meaning they would place the team that would be in 3rd place in Group D, and that is Chinese Taipei currently, unless Egypt pulls one over Chinese Taipei here today. For Puerto Rico, it looks like they may be facing Canada after Canada was able to pull through with a good victory over France, led by Savannah Swords with 25 points just a few moments ago. Again, a big welcome to those who just watched Finland defeat Argentina for their very first win in U17 Women's World Cup play. There's wondering, how do you get the premium membership on YouTube if you're tuning in on YouTube? It is simple as subscribing for just 99 cents a month. Puerto Rico's starting lineup, they'll go with Jada Guerrera, Maya Canales, Adriana Robles, Diane Jackson, and Desiree Nieves. Nieves averaging 8 points and 4.5 rebounds in this World Cup. Puerto Rico placed 5th in last year's U16 America's Championship, and 9 players on this very roster played in that tournament. For Australia, they won the U16 Women's Asia Championship, and this is a team that could go to the paint and score. They are 8th best in scoring with 75.5 points per game, 8 of those players coming from the Asia Championship team as well. Underway Group D competition, and Australia goes right away with the deuce from Laura Samfai. She could get off and running, the South Australian native, 6th best scorer in the U17 World Cup, as Puerto Rico turns it over. Australia solidifying 2nd place finish in group competition with a win today. They've already have victories over Croatia and a loss against the United States. A win against Puerto Rico will sit them in 2nd place in time for the round of 16 tomorrow. The jumper connects underneath for Madison Ryan. The U16 Vic Metro player gets on the board. It is 4-0 Australia. Puerto Rico's first touch of the ball, and it's Desiree Nieves. Nieves, nice crossover on Crook, and she sends it over. 2-ball. Mia Canales puts Puerto Rico on the board. Canales averages 8 points here in this tournament, as Ryan Splits through, sends it over. Corner three off the mark. Ryan fighting for the rebound, and Puerto Rico will have another chance. And the head coach for Puerto Rico, Michelle Gonzalez, knows that this will be a tough task for this team this year. Their first appearance in World Cup competition. And there are a lot of Puerto Rican fans in the group chat who will insist that this is just the beginning for this outstanding program. Placing fifth in the U16 Americas Championship, and that's why they are here today. 4-2 early stages. Nieves. Diane Jackson out to Robles, and that is blocked. Tatea Fagan. She could cause a lot of trouble defensively, especially when she's the 9th best rebounder at 8 a game. Puerto Rico has 3.2 to shoot. They're able to get it away. Floater off. Back comes the Sapphires. Ruby Perkins, one of the leading scorers in the tournament, trying to feed it into Ryan, but she misses. Puerto Rico had some tough luck against Croatia and Team USA in their first 2 group games. They are looking to pick up their very first victory here in this tournament. Air ball has been controlled by Perkins, and here's Australia breaking the press on a 3-on-2. Outside is Ryan, and she did step outside. More games happening throughout Leon and Irapuato right here later on today. Mali taking on New Zealand in less than 30 minutes. Chinese Taipei and Egypt, followed by Japan and Spain, USA and Croatia, and Italy playing host to the host team Mexico to wrap up group play. Tomorrow starts the round of 16 phase as Puerto Rico turns it over. A look at Jada Guerra, who averages nearly 10 points a game. She averaged just that in the U16 Americas Championship. Australia, the U16 Women's Asia champions. 8 of those players from that team are with the Sapphires now. Here's Ryans from outside. That is short. Ball goes to Puerto Rico. Now we see Emma Petrie into the game. Queensland native, another one of the U16 Oceania Championship players. So you have a mixture of the U15 and U16 teams coming together. And the best thing about the U17 players is that there may be a chance you'll see them in the U19 Women's World Cup next year. 3 minutes gone by here in the game. Jumper no good for Puerto Rico. Loose ball fought for by Luciana Perota. Now we have a foul. Madison Ryan checked out so that Petrie could come in. There's a foul on Mia Canales. Australia. And that is a holding foul on Puerto Rico. Diane Jackson, the offender. The only player that hasn't played for the Sapphires in this tournament, Zoe Jackson. Desiree Nieves checks in along with Walushka Hodge. Down the floor, 2 free throws coming up. Another one on Canales. Tatea Fagan will get her 2 shots. Shoots 57% from the free throw line. Natalia Centeno in for Canales, who is in early foul trouble. First free throw goes down. Sapphires, one of the best at the charity stripe, 67.6%. There goes the second free throw, 6-2 Australia over Puerto Rico, early stages, first quarter. Dribble drive from Jada Guerra. And an offensive foul. And that was on Diane Jackson. Used a little too much of the forearm. However, this is a learning curve for Puerto Rico. Their very first appearance in the U17 Women's World Cup. Pull-up three from Lara Samfai is a no-go. And back comes Puerto Rico. Nieves trying to break free at the center. Guerra lost control. Puerto Rico over the foul limit. And an unsportsmanlike foul called on Guerra. 2 free throws and the possession for Australia. I didn't get to finishing how you could be a part of the premium membership. I'll do that now. The first free throw doesn't go by Emilia Dakic. For just 99 cents a month, you'll have all these great features like custom badges, avatars, exclusive content, and exclusive Q&A panel with FIBA experts. That's what you could get if you subscribe to the FIBA Premium YouTube membership. Sienna Lehman along with Zara Russell checks in. They replace Perkins and Samfai as Dakic hits both free throws. 7-2 is the score as Emma Petrie tries to feed it in. Fagan on the board. Second chance for Australia. The fake on the corner three as Lehman gets the ball. And she is called for a travel. Puerto Rico 15th in the power rankings, 22nd in the FIBA World Rankings. Nice fake and drive, but Fagan was there to block it. Another chance. Guerra, no. The Sapphires on the break. Pass intended for Lehman. That is poked away by Nieves. And Lehman takes it back and sends it into Fagan. And that's another foul and another opportunity at the charity stripe. This is exactly what I mentioned in the Canada-France game. When you lose so much depth, you try to do your best, but you overcommit at times by using your muscle or position at your favor. And now Nieves comes up with an unsportsmanlike foul. That makes it 2 for Puerto Rico, as Fagan gets the first. Sometimes when you lack in size, you try to make up for it double time or triple time, and that's usually not the case. Again, this is just a learning curve for Puerto Rico. They are proud to be in this position. They are one of 4 teams making their U17 debut this year. Croatia, Finland, and Chinese Taipei rounded out. Adriana Robles checks back in for Nieves, who just committed the unsportsmanlike foul. The rebound controlled by Guerra. Adriana Robles sends it right back out. Corner three, too strong. Rebound by Lehman. 5 minutes gone by here in the first. Group C competition. Final group phase games here in the U17 Women's World Cup. Petrie fighting her way into the 10. But the steal by Puerto Rico again, this time Jada Guerra. Guerra sends it to Hodge. And she plays it for Robles. Robles flings it and misses. Both teams hitting the deck, and we're tied up. With 4:22 left in the first. Great hustle as Perseus Natoa and Jade Crook come in for the Sapphires. If there was such thing as hustle points, Puerto Rico would be on the great end of that. Nice fake from Robles. Robles makes it 9-4. Australia still with the lead. Fadeaway jumper, no. Reverse layup, off the mark. Back to Lehman. Here's Natoa. Handful of viewers tuning in, including Ozan Hoka, Jerome DeLinz, Azrael School tuning in as well. Guillermo Hernandez. We thank you all for tuning in. Crook called on the foul as Erica Finney checks in for Petrie. Robles misses the three. Australia coming into this game, the 9th best team in assists with 15.5. And an offensive foul from Erica Finney turns the ball over. Here's Guerra faking her way through everything but can't get the finger roll. Lehman. They dart it out to the corner. The three is good. Erica Finney gets on the board, and Jade Crook on the receiving end of that assist to make it 12-4 Australia. Remember, this is Group C competition. Australia currently sitting in second, Puerto Rico in fourth. The Sapphires fighting for the second spot. And if they get that second spot, they will meet either Chinese Taipei or Egypt. Those two will play later on.
Good, Lehman. Good job, sir.
Robles plays it with the screen from Centeno. Fakes once, twice, thrice, back up top. Or to shoot in deep was Centeno. And she is heading to the line. So Russell on the first foul in the game. Seeing some fans in the Irapuato Forum as Centeno gets the first. Gets her first free throw down. One of the 9 players that played in the U16 Americas Championship. He goes 2 for 2. 12-6 your score. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Fast start for Australia. Puerto Rico slowing things down and being timid. The pass from Lehman over to Finney. And it's out to Russell. 2 on the clock, a tie-up. Tomorrow starts the round of 16 tournament and a timeout from Tom Gerlip and the Sapphires. They are up by 6 over Puerto Rico with just about 3 minutes to go here in Group C competition. We're in the first quarter. Catch and shoot three goes off the mark, and Natoa picks it up for Australia. Puerto Rico has been closing down on the defense and heading to the line more. Nice take from Adriana Robles. And Jareli De Leon. Lehman at the line. 50% free throw shooter in the first few days. And she hits on her first point. First ever meeting between these two squads, obviously, with Puerto Rico making their very first appearance. Nieves trying to break free. Reverse layup under and out. Centeno out rebound. Two minutes to go. And the feed underneath. Macias Natoa on the board. 9-point Australia lead. Nieves, crossover dribble. It misses the floater. Saucer pass right away as Finney locates Natoa. On the drive, Russell. Lehman stopped underneath. And the possession arrow will play a role here. Substitutions.
Substitutions for Puerto Rico. Inside with number 10, Luciana Rose Parrota. And with number 3, Yurka Mirambo.
Sapphire is using a lot of their subs as we were wrapping up the first quarter in Irapuato. Australia 15, Puerto Rico 6. Zoe Jackson in for Jada Crook. Luciana Parrota and Yurka Mirambo in for Centeno and Guerra. Long shot off the glass.
Good job. Push. Go, Zoe. Drag zone.
Lehman with the hezzy. And the dish. It's Zara Russell. As she takes the foul. Parrota on the foul. As Canales checks in for De Leon.
Nia Canales. And with number 1, Jada Guerra.
First free throw doesn't go down. We are still at 15-6. This is a quarter where both of these clubs have not shot well. Australia 23.5%, Puerto Rico 12.5. 10-point game. Puerto Rico and Australia, Group C competition. If Australia wins, they claim second place. Long shot, Nieves off the side. Overhead to Finney, who defers it to Russell. Lehman with 3 to shoot underneath. The bucket goes for Natoa. Natoa picking up 4 points to wrap up the first quarter and to give Australia an 18-6 lead over Puerto Rico at the end of one. We'll be back for the second quarter in the 2024 FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup after this. Well, it wasn't a pretty first quarter when it comes to shooting. Puerto Rico shooting 12%, Australia shooting 28. Australia leading 18-6 at the beginning of the second quarter as they continue to use their bigs to their advantage. A mismatch for Puerto Rico heading into the beginning of the game. We have seen two unsportsmanlike fouls on that side as they try to overcome that mismatch. Robles gets the ball back, 6 to shoot. Robles looking for another steal. That did not work out well as Diane Jackson wasn't able to shake off 2 Sapphires. Straightaway pass from Lehman. Natoa as she slashes through. Russell on the ball. Out to the corner. The 3 is good. Erica Finley. Another chance from the corner. That doesn't go. A minute and change gone by. Australia doing an exceptional job with the ball movement. Pick and drive from Lehman. Up top, 8 to shoot. Another 3 ball. And Robles with the rebound. Robles sends it out, 3 ball. A little too strong. We're in the final day of group phase play in the U17 Women's World Cup. Pick and drive, Russell. Russell stopped by Nieves. 7 to shoot. Wheelbarrow pass right underneath the Lehman. Can't get that. Third chance coming up. How about a triple? No. And they say out of bounds. Puerto Rico ball. Big welcome to Mitchell Price, who's tuning in from Melbourne. Puerto Rico on the timeout. They are down by 15. We have played 2 minutes here in the Canada topping France 68-52 to clinch the first top spot of Group D in Group A competition. Finland with their first ever U17 win after defeating Argentina 64-58. This game taking place now. Mali and New Zealand from Leon tipping off in a few minutes. Running layup from Guerra off the mark. Underneath is Jackson. And Puerto Rico pushing through. Stand. 15-point Australia lead. Jab from Jackson. Can't get the jumper. Euro and everything for Lara Samfak. She used that Euro step a little bit early, but it did not matter. 2 points is 2 points. as she tacks those on to Australia. Runner no good. Somfai on the rebound as Marambo hits the deck. And Diane Jackson tried to pick up on the break. And the ball picked up by Alanis Iturino. Slash to the basket and the reverse layup from Robles. Robles with her 4th point as we are at the 6-minute mark. Somfai spin cycle. The dish underneath. That doesn't finish, but the second chance certainly works out in Zoe Jackson's favor. Zoe Jackson, Australia. Oh, the step. But Robles unable to hit. Robles and Marambo hitting the deck. Both of them getting off their feet. Marambo with her first foul. Australia capitalizing on the rebounds, 28-12. As Luciana Perota in for Puerto Rico. Nice J from the key as Somfai taking care of business here in the second quarter. She has a total of 7 as the lead is back up to 20. Jackson with the screen. Perota engaging into the mid-range. Less than 3 on the clock. The runner, no. And back comes the Sapphires on the other end, and Zoe Jackson gets back-to-back buckets. Working off the bread and butter. That high-low pass has been working wonders for the Sapphires. 30-8 is the score. 4:30 left until halftime. Hesitation from Petrie. Up to the key, no. Puerto Rico shooting 11% from the field. They have to get a shot going in order to get back into the ball game. Diane Jackson tried to make good of it, but unable to hit the 3. Alushka Hodge in for Puerto Rico. Guerra, Hodge, Centeno, Robles, and Jackson, the 5 for Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico getting their first experience in U17 competition as Jada Guerra hits the J. Guerra with her first field goal. Dish underneath, and Puerto Rico trying to block from behind, but that's contact. Michelle Gonzalez can do nothing but look and watch. Good effort from Diane Jackson. However, that is her 3rd foul as one of the bigs for Puerto Rico is in foul trouble. All lessons for both teams, I'm sure. Perkins and Ryan are out. Lehman and Dakic are in as Jackson goes for the second free throw and gets it. Satya Fagan in for Jackson. And Lehman almost took it away. That would have been an easy 2. 3:38 in the half. Australia dominating with the rebounds. They have picked up 30 of them. Nice bully ball from Diane Jackson. Talk about a nice roll of the dice to keep Jackson in despite foul trouble. Sampai trying to put the Jets on. Sends it over the shoulder pass. Another good look. Doesn't result in a point, but the second chance does. As the runner off the glass connects for Fagan. Looks like they gave the point to Dakic. Back comes Ryan and the Sapphires. As Fagan comes up with the block. There's a three. That's good. And it's a timeout for Puerto Rico as Fagan connects on her 7th point. As Australia is trying to run away with this game from Puerto Rico. 36-12 is your score. The Puerto Rican fans still showing great enthusiasm despite the 36-12 deficit they face with under 2.5 to go until halftime. They are fighting for the ball as they're scrapping for every chance. Oh, the rebound as Desiree Nieves checks in with Mia Canales for Puerto Rico. Jade Crook filling in for Laura Sampai for the Sapphires. 2 minutes to go. And Puerto Rico gets the ball back off the turnover.
He got it. Back screen, back screen.
36-12 is the score. Mali and New Zealand just got underway in Leon. Australia on another break. This is Madison Ryan, who wasn't able to come up with it. And that was a strip by Canales. Alanis Nitorino in for Puerto Rico. Fagan touched it last. Hard shot off the mark for Jackson. And she will shoot a couple. Ryan Jackson averages 8 boards and 5.5 rebounds per game. Got her first free throw. Misses the second. She has a total of 3 points. Approaching halftime, Australia sitting comfortably with the lead. They're up by 23. The runner, no. Hardly contested shot on the steal was Crook. And now Fagan gets the ball, sends it to Lehman. Lehman with the foul.
Foul of Puerto Rico number 23.
.102 until halftime. Dakic, Fagan, Crook, Lehman, and Patry, the starting five for Australia. Puerto Rico, Iturino, Centeno, Canales, Jackson, and Nieves. Petrie, great ball movement, and it pays off for Australia.
2 points for Australia number 13, Sienna
Lehman for 2. Nieves on the miss.
Foul of Puerto Rico number 23.
44 and 3/10 seconds remaining as Nieves comes up with the offensive foul. Away from the basket, they go right in again. Sienna Lehman is catching fire. Her 5th point makes it 40-13 Sapphires.
2 points for Australia number 14, Sienna
There is a 2-second difference in the shot and game clock. Shot clock at 10, game clock 12. Shot from the corner, no. Natoa down to 3. Count if it goes, no. Madison Ryan chucked it up and missed it. It's been a dominating lead for Australia since the start. They are up 40-13 over Puerto Rico. Your game stats: Australia shooting 37%, Puerto Rico 14. The bright side for Puerto Rico is they are very scrappy on defense, and they were able to back that up with 6 steals. We're at the break. Australia leads 40-13. I'm Aaron Sanders. More coverage of the FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup will continue in 15 minutes.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
And here we are, third quarter. Irapuato is the place. Group D competition or Group C competition is the game. Australia 40, Puerto Rico 13. Second half underway. Australia usually shooting 42.5% from the field. They are shooting nearly 37. And Puerto Rico not having a good scoring display. But then again, when it comes to one of these teams making their U17 debut, you have to expect that. But they do get scoring going fast, don't they? Walushka Hodge gets the first two of the second half, and her first bucket. Dakic, Somfine, Notolo, Ryans, and Perkins into the game for Australia as Somfine delivers on the floater. In a way, we're back to where we started here in the second half. The jump hook doesn't fall for Diane Jackson. She has 3 personal fouls. She picked up all of them in the beginning of the second quarter. Turnaround jumper connects for Somfine. Laura Somfine with her 11th point. She averages 19 a game, the 6th best scorer in the U17 World Cup. Canales bursting with speed and picks up the contact. Perkins with her first foul. There has been a total of 5 fouls for Australia. First free throw good, Canales. Mia Canales, 60% free throw shooter in the first few days. Misses the second. And back come the Sapphires, who have a 1-1 record, second place in Group C. A win will secure them that second place spot in time for the round of 16 tournament. Great ball movement again. Shot from the wing doesn't hit. And Jackson all alone for the rebound for Puerto Rico. On the other end, it's Walushka Hodge. So Hodge picking up 4 points, all of them coming in this quarter alone. Traveling call, Puerto Rico has a chance. Once again, for those tuning in on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the premium membership for just 99 cents a month. Custom badges, avatars, and more awaiting you. Oh, nice bully ball for Jackson again, but she wasn't able to get it over Natoa. And that's what Puerto Rico needs to do in order to get back in this ball game. Not only get close, but show that they could play with the best of them. And they're doing that so far as Puerto Rico's taking contact. 6 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock in Mexico. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Give us a like, comment, and subscribe to the FIBA social platforms. Canales around Sanfai. Oh, muy bien. Mia Canales makes it 44-20. There's a fake from Dakic. And now Puerto Rico's putting the Jets on. Here they come on the move. And Walushka Hodge with 6 points here in the third quarter. Tremendous energy from Puerto Rico to open up the third quarter. They are now outscoring Australia by the score of 9-4. Timeout called by Tom Gerlip and the rest of the Australian coaching staff as Puerto Rico is on the move. Their largest scoring run, 7-0. Puerto Rico's surge has definitely come from Walushka Hodge, who has scored all six of her points in the third quarter. She got things going for Puerto Rico right out of the house, and now she has those points along with 3 rebounds, and Australia leads by 22. Great hands from Diane Jackson, trying to thwart off the pass. Puerto Rico has done an exceptional job, despite being down by 22, keeping their head up and trying to control the game. They are establishing the tempo. They've done that in the fast break, and they're doing that in the half-court game as well. Robles on the pass. And it stays with Puerto Rico with 6:45 on the clock. From Irapuato, the 2024 FIBA U17 Women's Basketball Cup emanating from Irapuato and León, Mexico, taking the global stage. And the steal by Canales. There's a 3. Fantastic rebound again. Puerto Rico doing their best in outboxing despite the mismatch. Robles on the rebound, 5 to shoot. Jackson on the screen, driving down, shot off the mark. And taken away. Robles all alone.
for Puerto Rico, number 16,
Adriana Robles and Puerto Rico continuing to step up. Robles with her 6-point and 4 rebounds. Australia has to hold on to the ball much better. Shot clock running away. And a 24-second violation. And Puerto Rico will make some adjustments. This is going to be a key point for Puerto Rico. If they're able to establish that same tempo with the reserves on the floor right now, they could be a dangerous force in the next 5 minutes, 30 seconds here in the third quarter. Down by 20, that could be cut down if they keep their foot on the gas pedal. Brooke Russell in for Australia, Nieves Centeno in for Puerto Rico. Long shot doesn't hit the bottom of the net. Instead, it hits the top of the iron. Erica Finney. Russell sends it to Petrie. Another steal from Robles. She has 3 steals in the game, and she'll go to the line for the and one. Adriana Robles carrying Puerto Rico on her back. And there you go. You definitely deserve it. What hustle, what poise, what tenacity, what effort, what muscle, what finish. Jaili De Leon in for Walushka Hodge, who started this run for Puerto Rico, scoring 6 straight points right out of the clubhouse after halftime. And now Adriana Robles adds on to it and makes it 44-27. Incidentally, Lehman with the foul, and Australia has more or less slowed it down, and now Nieves comes up with her 4th foul. Desiree Nieves, 4 fouls. She has yet to score today. And that is a smart decision. Michelle Gonzalez subbing Nieves out for Mia Canales. Canales with 5 points, 2 of 3 from the field. 5 minutes gone by here in the third. Russell looking underneath. Puerto Rico right now shooting 24% from the field, but outscoring the Sapphires 14-4. The fake handoff as Guerrero doesn't get it. De Leon drives and is set to shoot 2. De Leon already took a charge earlier in the game. She's a tough player, as Erica Finney is charged with the foul. We will take a timeout. 4:23 remaining in the third. Australia up by 17. But look out who's knocking on their door. It's Puerto Rico. A lot of experience to be gained for Puerto Rico, their first ever appearance in the U17 Women's World Cup. And so far, they are on a phenomenal run to start the second half, outscoring Australia 15-5. 44-29 is the score. Wide open three, too strong. And Australia have not found a bucket since the 8:57 mark when Laura Sampai scored their first and only 4 points of the quarter. Since then, Puerto Rico has gone out on a 15-0 run. Another steal from the Sapphires. Sienna Lehman. And that doesn't break the dry spell of shooting, or perhaps 2 free throws will. Jessimani Majar, thank you for subscribing to the premium membership on YouTube.
Institution for Puerto Rico. Inside the number 12, Natalia Centeno.
Australia has been scoreless for the last 5 minutes and 20 seconds, and that continues on the missed free throw. Puerto Rico slowly but surely making this a ball game. And that ends the 5+ minute scoring drought of Australia. Comes at the end of a free throw. It is 45-28. Adriana Robles playing with heart and hustle. One of the main keys for Puerto Rico's surge here in the third quarter. This is Jada Guerra, who had an unsportsmanlike foul pinned on her in the first. Petrie in trouble. Oh. Lehman with the turnover. Walushka Hodge back in. With a few buckets to her name, she was able to start the second half on a positive note. Robles. Here's Canales. Back to Jackson. Jackson with the semi-spin. Works her way to the 10 and misses it over Crook. Puerto Rico with most of their scorers back into the game. Michelle Gonzalez making a huge change. And Australia has yet to hit a field goal in the last 6 minutes and 22 seconds. Not the kind of quarter that Australia is known for having, considering they shoot 42.3% from the field. They are now shooting 35.5. Puerto Rico's field goal percentage has gone up a little bit. Block from Australia. Puerto Rico shooting 22.4.
Substitution for Australia. Inside the number 13, Zoe Jackson.
Zoe Jackson in for Crook. 3-ball bounces off for Guerra. Lehman on the rebound, and they give it to Russell. Corner three, no. Jackson brings down the rebound. Australia has had several chances to get a field goal up in the third quarter. They've only made 2. Under 2 to go, 3-ball Jackson, no, short. Puerto Rico trying to break the 30-point mark. They've lost to Croatia and the USA in their first 2 games of U17 play. Finney misses from downtown. Here's Guerra taking it in herself. And a block from Finney. Laura Sampai takes her spot. Sampai, who's checking back in. Australia's leading scorer with 11 points. Puerto Rico making changes too. Again, every change counts for Puerto Rico as they are on a good tear here in the third quarter. Nieves and Santinos replaces Robles and Canales. Perkins and Sampai in for Finney and Lehman. Both teams have reduced their depth with over a minute to go. And an air ball from downtown as Nieves lets it go out. Not one of the positive sides for Australia this 10 minutes out of halftime. Puerto Rico outscoring Australia in the third quarter, 15-5. And they continue the damage by slicing right inside to the 10. Australia has the rebounds, but they have not responded onto a bucket until now. Their first bucket in over 8 minutes as Ruby Perkins gets it in. Their first bucket in over 8 minutes, her first bucket of the game. Half a minute to go, third quarter. 47-28 is the score. A lot of activity between Diane Jackson and her defender. It was Jackson and Perkins battling near the elbow. Jackson set for free throws. Alanis Iturino in. And so is Jackson's first free throw. Desiree Nieves has a seat. Satea Fagan in for Russell. And I could imagine Australia is going to rely on Fagan to get a lot of boards and fight on the box out. Australia has stayed frozen on the scoreboard for most of the third quarter. Was frozen from the field goal range for 8 minutes until a layup. 5 seconds to go. Long bomb doesn't hit. Another chance for Australia. Petrie has to put it up. She does, and it's short. So that will do it for a third quarter in which Puerto Rico has to look up and say, hey, we could play with the best of them. This may be our first appearance, but best believe this will not be our last in U17 competition. Puerto Rico 16, Australia 7 in the quarter. Australia leading 47-29 at the end of 3, and this coverage of the FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup will continue. In the third quarter, a tale of two different stories on different sides. Australia with their lowest scoring performance in the Women's World Cup this year, 7 points. Puerto Rico, one of their best scoring performances, outscoring Australia 16-7. And as they start with the ball, they are down by 18. As we begin the fourth quarter, I'm Aaron Sanders. Thank you again for joining us. We have more action coming up in this U17 Women's World Cup, brought to you by FIBA and Smart, as Guerra unable to connect. Australia kept frozen in the field goal range for 8 minutes in the third quarter. And when it was at that moment, it was Laura Samfai who scored those buckets, and the only way Australia scored until the dying moments of the third was at the free throw line. First free throw doesn't go. FIBA has a premium membership for you if you subscribe on YouTube for only 99 cents a month. Lots of features up for grabs, including exclusive content like Q&A sessions and premium video access to exclusive video content. Zoe Jackson goes 1 for 2 at the line. She hit her first bucket earlier today. She was left scoreless in the first 2 games of the tournament. The J goes for Jackson, who is playing with 4 fouls. 6 points to her name. Samfai picks it up and misses. And Dakic, 7 to shoot. Into Fagan, yes. And it was around this time in the third quarter where Australia was frozen. Now they lead again by 19. Jackson cutting in. Misses the finger roll with the right hand. Almost taken away by Robles as she takes a gutsy call, and it will be an offensive foul on Dakic, her first. Mali in New Zealand taking place in Leon right now. Justin Taylor on the call. He will also have the call for Chinese Taipei and Egypt, which comes up after this game, and USA and Croatia. The middle game will belong to Michael Soroti from Leon. Japan taking on Spain. Here in Irapuato, Puerto Rico connecting on a big-time triple. Mia Canales. Canales with her 8th, her first 3-ball. Over in Leon, it's halftime as New Zealand leads Mali 36-19. Justin Taylor on the call. Will switch you over to that game after this one. And the steal again by Canales. But they're unable to keep the ball into play as Dakic comes up with the steal. 2 minutes gone by here in quarter number 4. Laura Samfai finding an open player and Rudy Perkins. She doesn't get it. But a whistle. We invite you to tune in for the round of 16 phase, which starts tomorrow in Irapuato and Leon. I'll have the call for 3 games, and helping out on the other end of things will be Justin Taylor. From tomorrow on, all it takes is 4 victories and you win the gold. USA, again, a favorite in the U17 World Cup. Top ranking in the world, top ranking in the power rankings. But you also have to look out for Canada, too, as they were able to persevere and prevail over France earlier, 68-52, all thanks to Savannah Sword's 25 points. Even though their top scorer in Agat Makir was limited to not a lot of points. She averages 25, which is best in this World Cup. Swords was able to step in and take care of business to give Canada first place in Group D. If Puerto Rico loses, that's who they will play in the round of 16 tomorrow. Far away three. Oh, that was close, but it doesn't go. Oh, hard hit. As Jaylee De Leon just running right into her defender. She has been taking a lot of hits, and she has been using her muscle a lot too. That is her third foul as Australia brings it up by 16. Group C competition. Dakic in trouble. 7 to shoot. 3 ball doesn't go. A whip around pass to Robles. Robles gets some space. Gets the step on Fagan. Can't hit it. Sapphire's back on. Fagan immediately gives it to Dakic. Natoa underneath. Shot doesn't go for long five. Jumper for Fagan. And Satya Fagan with her 11th point, and that slows things down for Puerto Rico as they are down 52 to 34. They take a timeout with 6:31 remaining in regulation. Puerto Rico dominant in the second half, but Australia putting the Jets on again after a dismissal third quarter shooting-wise. 52-34 the score. Coming up at about 6 minutes remaining in regulation. Down low Jackson, she's playing with 4 fouls, but gets the jump hook. Jackson with her 8th point. The feed to Ryan. Somfai asking for something, but Hodge takes it. Oop, a little bit of off-balance play. Australia with the foul. Madison Ryan, the offending party. That's only Australia's second team foul. And Diane Jackson is replaced by Norca Marambo. Rambo played 8.5 minutes of action, 1 rebound. Nice screen from Marambo right off the hop. Robles stops, trots, can't get it to drop. And another rejection from Australia. They come up with the 8th block on their side. And Natoa staying on the ball the whole time. 16-point lead for Australia. Fade away Jay, and free throws are on the way for Jada Guerra. And Guerra trying to respond after an unsportsmanlike foul in the first quarter. 28 minutes of action. This is a perfect chance for her to get some points on the board. If Puerto Rico goes on another outstanding run like they did in the third quarter, they could cause some fear to Australia. Guerra with the first. Averaged 10.8 points and 2.5 rebounds in the U16 America's Championship last year. A Puerto Rican team that placed fifth, and 9 of their players who have played on that team are representing Puerto Rico here in the U17 Women's World Cup. 1 for 2 at the line. Australia on the move again. Ball poked, and here comes Puerto Rico. And they have to slow it down. Great heads-up defense from Dakic as she was trying to cause a backcourt violation. Halfway gone by here in the fourth quarter. 3-ball, Nieves. No. And the rebound by Fagan. Both clubs, or both teams, down to 1 foul to give. Underneath is Madison Ryan. Yes, it counts. Now we're seeing a lot of people tuning in from around the world. From Damascus, Syria, we have Rebo, Raymond Peloriera checking in from New Jersey, I'm assuming. Jose Sebastião from Luanda, Angola. And Ryan completes the three-point play, 55-37. Madison Ryan has come up with her 7th point. She is on double-double watch. 9 rebounds to her credit. Satea Fagan, the player of the game so far, 12 rebounds, 11 points. She has secured her double-double. And that is well expected from the 9th best rebounder in this tournament this year. That is the 4th foul on Ryan. 1 more and she ends her game. 4:33 to go. Puerto Rico to inbound it from the side. This is Nieves. Wheelbarrow pass. Jackson's fouled by Fagan. So every foul will put Puerto Rico at the line from here on out. The game ball is so important when it comes to the game. You have to know how to shoot with it, how to dribble with it, and how well it will perform. If you want to do that along with the pros, you have a chance to win an official Molten FIBA ball. Send a $2 super chat to enter the raffle on the FIBA live chat on YouTube. And we thank you and good luck. Jackson makes her first. Jackson coming up with her 10th point. 55-39 is the score. Jeremy Correa from Puerto Rico tuning in. Welcome aboard. Zara Russell on the pass. Into the middle. Fagan swallowed up. Here comes Puerto Rico on the move. Taken back by Natoa, who couldn't finish. And Puerto Rico back to the line. Remember, both teams over the foul limit. 4:05 left. Diane Jackson, 4 of 6 at the line today. Again, she, along with Desiree Nieves, 4 fouls. Perseus Natoa with her first. Jackson making it rain. Jose Sebastião. Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you in last year's FIBA Afrocan? I remember that name somewhere. I hope you're able to respond to that. Meanwhile, Diane Jackson goes 2 for 2 at the line. It is a 15-point game. Full court pressure almost applied by Puerto Rico, but they backed off. Overhead pass. Natoa. And Australia looking for the dagger. Underneath is Crook, who hasn't scored much. Up the floor is Guerra. Guerra out to Robles. who has been significant in the third quarter. Three ball doesn't hit, and Lehman up the floor with it. And a lone layup blown by Crook. Oh, look out, Jada Guerra is in a world of pain underneath. And it's a good thing she's able to get right back up. There he is she was trying to go for the rebound and got hit inadvertently in the hip by Lehman. Nonetheless, another chance for Puerto Rico. Both clubs out of bounds to give. 3:20 to go. Robles with 9 points. Diane Jackson 12, 6 of them coming at the line. Robles trying to feed it into Jackson. She does, bodies up through everybody and gets the J. Fantastic outing from Diane Jackson. Foul trouble and everything. Really stepping up here in the third quarter along with Adriana Robles. 12-point game, under 3 to go. Crook underneath. Hasn't been a pretty shooting display for Australia today, but the early lead has really helped them out. If you were able to wipe away the first half and stuck with what we saw in the second half, it would be Puerto Rico by 3 as Jackson mixes it from the elbow. More games coming up on the FIBA social media platforms. We invite you to stick around. Justin Taylor will have the third game from Irapuato. He's currently calling Mali and New Zealand. Chinese Taipei and Egypt coming up from the Ira Forum in Irapuato. And if that is a foul on Diane Jackson, that will do it for her. And it is on Mia Canales. Alanis Iturrino checking in for Robles. First free throw goes down for Emma Petrie. Zoe Jackson in for Lehman. This game has been a close call in the second half. Petrie goes 2 for 2. 59-43. And to think the score was 40-13 at the half. A running jumper is picked up by Crook. 40-13, that was the score. So far, Puerto Rico has scored 30 points. Australia only 19. Will make that 22 now. As Erica Finney gets it from downtown. Well, now this is back to a 19-point lead. Timeout on the floor with 1:38 to go. Now, what an outstanding performance from Puerto Rico in the second half. A big hello to Jose Costas, who's tuning in. Puerto Rico outscoring Australia 30-22 in the second half. But that early lead from Australia helped them out despite a dismissal shooting performance from Australia, especially in the third quarter where they were scoreless in field goals for over 8 minutes. And in turn, they have only scored 7 points in the third. But they doubled up on that ever since. And now once again outscoring Puerto Rico in the quarter 15-14. Out of arena score, let's take a look at what's happening between Mali and New Zealand. Justin Taylor with the call again. 4 minutes to go in the third. New Zealand up 49-28. 49-28, that's the score. The leading scorer for New Zealand with 19, Bailey Flavel. And for Mali, they are led by Aminata Samaki. Here in Irapuato, Australia, a minute and 30 seconds away from securing second place in Group C. Jackson, who has been doing everything in this game, despite the jeopardy of her having 4 fouls. Almost a turnover forced by J.L. De Leon. Now it stays with Australia. De Leon, she has been a hard player to crack today. And Jackson checks out. Jackson checks out, and Natalia Centeno checks in her place. No-look pass results in a turnover, minute and 5 to go. If I am head coach Michelle Gonzalez, I'd be very proud of this Puerto Rican team. And this is the best thing when it comes to the new teams in U17 competition, like Finland, like Chinese Taipei, like Croatia, like Puerto Rico. They show no quit. Jade Crook using the muscle to fend it over Centeno, and she gets it in. I did a game on Sunday against Canada, and during the half, Chinese Taipei were the only ones on the floor shooting around. Goes show how dedicated they are. 3-ball doesn't go, 3 free throws coming up. That is smart basketball from Nieves. These first-time teams do not want to make this a one and done. We may see them again in 2 years from now for the next U17 World Cup. Matter of fact, we may see a handful of these players in the U19 World Cup next year as Nieves hits the first. And a valiant effort from Puerto Rico. More performances like this, especially in the round of 16, and depending on how far they go, that's going to put the whole FIBA on notice. 2-2 is Nieves. You make it 64-46 with 30 seconds to go. Australia will take second place in Group C. We'll take a look at the potential lineups as it has yet to be determined. We'll find out the remainder of these games. 3-ball goes down. A triple from Finney wraps it up. It was a tremendous effort from Puerto Rico, coming out of the clubhouse in the third quarter as they dribble it out. But the early start from Australia helped them take second place in Group C. Your final, Australia 67, Puerto Rico 46. Taking the charge for Australia tonight, double-double performance from Satya Fagan with 12 boards and 11 points. Laura Sanfai with 11 points of her own. And Erica Finney with 10 points and the 3 to wrap things up for Australia. Not the best scoring performance from them as they end up shooting 36%. That is a difference from the 42.5% they would shoot in the first 2 days of competition. Puerto Rico, despite shooting 22%, they showed heart, they showed muscle, and they showed why they belong in the U17 Women's World Cup. Diane Jackson leading the way with 14 points. They were able to secure 31 rebounds. Australia just being the bully of the boards with 67 of those rebounds. Looking at the positives for Puerto Rico, they stole the ball 15 times. They were able to score 15 points off of turnovers, 13 points of them coming from the fast break. And they showed they could play with the best of the entire FIBA world. Final score, Australia 67, Puerto Rico 46. Looking at the potential matchups for the round of 16 tomorrow as games are still being played. With Puerto Rico losing, it's probable that they will play against Canada, the #1 seed in Group D. And for Australia, they will have to wait to see who prevails between Chinese Taipei and Egypt. At the moment, it will look like Australia and Chinese Taipei. But again, a few more games to go. I'm going to turn you over to the game between Mali and New Zealand, where Justin Taylor is on the call with $1:29 to go in the third quarter. New Zealand up 57-31. And then he will have the game from Iripuato between Chinese Taipei and Egypt. Third place on the line in Group D, followed by Japan and Spain, in which Michael Cerroti will have the call for that. USA and Croatia follows, and the last game of group phase competition, the host team Mexico taking on Italy in Leon. This is Aaron Sanders. Thank you for joining me for the first two games of the last day of group action here in the U17 Women's Basketball World Cup, everybody. It's been an honor, it's been a privilege, and I'll tell you what, we get to do this again tomorrow for the round of 16. I've got 3 games. Hope you join in. But until then, enjoy the rest of your day and keep on watching coverage from Mexico. You've been watching the 2024 FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup. So long, everybody.
Group 4.